Laura with Dash in Fashion, and I'm excited to bring to you my first phone interview with Clara from the Boutique Angels charity organization. Clara and I had an interesting conversation about their Big Brothers and Sisters charity benefit happening now on eBay. So Clara, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a stay-at-home mother, and my husband and I have two beautiful children. Our daughter just turned 7 last week, and our son is 2 years old. And right now I'm the designer behind Mimi Katini on eBay, and I've been designing probably for about 1.5 years now on eBay, although I had been selling and designing prior to that here locally for about, I would say, 2 years, more than that, so 3 years probably altogether.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Boutique Angels? How did you come up with the idea? When did it start? And how does it work?
Actually, the Boutique Angels is a wonderful organization. It is on eBay. There's actually a really big boutique community on eBay. And it was not founded by myself. It was actually founded in October of 2004 by Tiffany Hageman, who is the designer behind My Only Princess Boutique. And she's done such a wonderful job at, making the Boutique Angels what they are today. And she just had this wonderful vision. And she's just, within the 4 short years that we've been in existence, we've been able to raise over $50,000. And she just had this idea of bringing all the designers together to launch for these various charities 4 times a year. And about 2 months ago, she actually decided to pass the torch on to myself, and I'm just really, really excited about this new venture.
And how does it actually work? What's the process? I'm just curious as to what goes on behind the scenes.
We're a group of about 330 members, and we do not require that our members participate in all of our launches, although we do encourage them to participate in at least one of the 4 that we have per year, but it's not a requirement. And then we have some who participate behind the scenes, for instance, our graphics team, our publicity committee. What we do basically is we have a open discussion about ongoing charity suggestions, and as we near launch time, we narrow it down to about 3 or 4 charities, and then we take a poll on it, and whichever one the girls want to launch for, that's what we decide on doing. The launch we have going on right now is, we called it the Be Our Guest launch. And what we did is, this is our first annual guest launch. Within the boutique community, there are a lot of design groups. And a lot of the times, these design groups will have guests, which are not permanent members of the group. So we decided that we would go ahead and do that as well. We would open it up to the boutique community and invite groups, these design groups, and other individual designers who don't belong to groups to guest with us, so they can kind of see what Boutique Angels are all about. And we had a lot of groups that went ahead and accepted our invitation. We had about 19 groups that are going to be listing with us, and various individual designers as well. And that launch is going on right now. It started yesterday. So between May 5th and through May 18th, you can search Boutique Angels Charity on eBay to see our listings.
So which groups are participating in the current auction?
We have some wonderful, amazingly talented groups that are participating with us. Like I said earlier, we have about 19 groups, and I'll just kind of go down the list. But basically, they're Adagio Blue, A-Team, Boutique Pop Kids, the Bo Bettys, Echo Couture, Giggle Girls, Ivy Lane, Jolie Couture, Max, Made to Match Inc., Wisteria Lane, The Chicks, Glam Squad, The Polka Dots, Soshi Boutique Designers, Primroses, Studio E, Willow Grove Couture, and Bijou Company. And we're just so graciously appreciative of them for accepting our invitation. And we also have many other individual designers as well who are participating with us. But we have an amazingly, talented lineup for, this guest launch. So I urge everyone to go out and seek these auctions.
How does your group decide on what organizations you donate to?
We have an open charity suggestion thread at all times. And any one of our members can suggest a charity for our next launch, and then as we near launch time, we narrow it down to whichever, choose, like, let's say the top 3 or 4 charities, and then we take a poll, and then whichever charity wins, that's the one that we designate for the launch. We do try to contact, for instance, Big Brothers and Big Sisters for the guest launch that we're having right now, and I did speak with the marketing advisor there, and he was able to just kind of give us a little bit of information about Big Brothers and Big Sisters, which was good. And also, he just, kind of let us know that they had figured that every $1,100 that they're able to raise, or that we would be able to raise, would ensure that one child would be helped by them. So that's a good number. So that's our, we hope to at least be able to help 2 or 3.
If someone wants to become involved, how do they start the process to become a member?
Well, all they have to do really is just ask for an invitation to the Boutique Angels Charity Organization. They can also email myself at mimikatini@aol.com. The only thing that we do ask is that if you're going to list anything for our launches, that it be handcrafted. So either handcrafted by yourself, or we do allow resales or samples. So we have everything, though, from artists who do wall art to clothing to children's accessories to handbags and jewelry. So we have a wide variety.
I'm so curious as to how you came up with the name for Mimi Katini.
Mimi is actually the nickname that I used for our daughter, and she was actually mainly the inspiration behind most of my designs. And so I knew I was going to use Mimi somewhere in there, and it's just funny. I just kind of asked her one day, I said, honey, just drop some words to me and what have you. And so at the time, all she would tell me was, Mommy, I love cats. I love cats. I love cats. And so I thought, how am I going to incorporate that? So then we just sat there, and I just kept saying Mimi Cat, Mimi Katini, and I just thought I'd have it rhyming. So that's where it came out. Actually, I love the name. I do. I like the name now.
I noticed that on your auctions, you have such gorgeous fabric. How do you come up with the fabric?
I love fabric, and I love a lot of fabrics. I like florals as well, but I'm really attracted to more simple type fabrics and that have really simple prints. And I love lots of things that are modern and what have you. And this particular fabric, it's a reprint from the 1970s from a designer called Pamela Walker, and it's Australian. And I've just been eyeing it for months and months. And actually, she has wonderful, wonderful other prints as well. And I decided on this one, and I just fell in love with it when I received it. So it's a beautiful fabric. It really is. Thank you very much, Laura. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to also do the interview with you and to spread the word. I know that our girls were excited that you'd be featuring all our listeners. And if I could, I just want to go ahead and say thank you also. It's not just myself, obviously, who leads this group. And I have 2 wonderful moderators who help me a lot. And that's Patty of Key West Kids, who is also an amazingly wonderful, talented designer, and Jen of Little Red Wagon, who really in the boutique community needs no introduction. And I also wanted to thank our publicity committee and our graphics team, who worked a lot in getting, the launch going for us and what have you, and knowing that this was my first launch as a leader as well. So I wanted to make sure there weren't any shortcomings that I had or what have you. And also, of course, I want to just thank the bidders, everyone who comes out and bids on our listings, and thank you for your generosity. Even if we were to raise just $50, it'd be a successful launch, but because every little bit counts, and we don't mind being a small drop in a large bucket. So thank you, Laura, for everything.
Thank you, Clara, so much for your interview, and I'd like to thank all the Boutique Angels for donating to charities worldwide.